Well, on with today's show, and New Zealand customer messaging platform Atomic.io has raised 4.5 million Australian dollars in a Series A. The round was led by the Wellington VC Movac and found support from Xero co-founder Hamish Edwards. To tell us more, I'm now joined by Atomic CEO Ben Pujji. Ben, great to have you on the show. Kia ora. Tell us a little bit more about Atomic and what you guys do.
Kia ora, thanks for having me on the show. So look, Atomic is a customer experience messaging platform, as you said, and what that means is we have software that goes inside existing apps that companies like banks and health insurers offer, mobile apps, web apps, and we deliver little bite-sized targeted actionable messages. So things like, hey, your home loan needs renewing, do you want to do that, yes or no? Little actionable bite-sized messages, so kind of a next stage on from broadcast comms and kind of interruptive marketing.
So is this a different set of thinking to, of course, every app I download, they all want me to say yes to in-app messaging and bombard me with so many that I eventually switch it off. Is this like a little bit smarter and actually directing more on outcomes and sales?
Yeah, we have a shared hate for that, I have to say. We believe that really harassing people outside of the app with push notifications has a pretty limited utility. It frustrates customers. Really, people are happy to do what needs doing and take care of tasks inside the app, but really they want to do that in a constructive way. So rather than saying, hey, come here, and making it look like your app's got a virus, calmly, once you've logged into your banking or your health insurance, having a little thing right there that says, hey, something needs your attention, do you want to take care of it, yes or no, and actually being able to resolve that thing right there. So Atomic really isn't just sort of a driver pulling people into apps. It's about packaging up little bite-sized app interactions. So it's a calmer, more integrated thing. So yeah, I share your frustration with the noisy harassment layer of notifications.
Well, if you're providing a solution on that front, then I welcome it instantly, Ben. Now, there's an interesting backstory amid all of this raise. Of course, as we mentioned, Movac led this round, Kiwis in there as well, Hoku. There's a very strong Xero presence, of course, one of the great New Zealand tech success stories, starting with co-founder Rod Drury, who is an existing investor, went in again. He's also a director of the business. But I can't help noticing that you've basically got a whole bunch of investors from Xero. Is it that they've made so much money, they're all looking for the next big thing in New Zealand? What's going on?
Don't get me wrong, I'll take money from anyone smart who's willing to get behind us. But no, really the dynamic for us is that New Zealand's still a very small country, and businesses like Xero are the pioneers in the tech scene here that have generated groups of people with experience, not just capital. And so really the recycling of that experience as well as the recycling of capital is what we're the beneficiary of. And of course, Wellington is a small town where we set up and founded, and so everybody knows everybody in this town, and it was very easy to make those connections. And so yeah, we're really just the beneficiary of that ecosystem. I guess in Australia it's more the Atlassian story. In New Zealand it's still very much dominated by TradeMe and Xero and some of those names.
Well, a fabulous town along the way is Wellington. So you've got a pretty impressive customer base already. Bank of New Zealand, ANZ, Foodstuffs North Island, Kiwi Bank. What are the ambitions with the money in terms of your next steps?
Well, we're really looking to accelerate. We've had a really interesting response. Atomic was really born during the pandemic, and most of our customers signed up during that time. And the common thread has been this massive influx of customers going to digital channels, but the channels not being able to keep up and serve them. And so we've had a good response in the last couple of years. We think Australia is very similar to New Zealand in the sense that it's a very digitally savvy market. The digital adoption in our verticals like healthcare and banking is very high. And obviously there's very sophisticated marketers and product teams in those spaces. So for us, it's about growing the team, putting people into Australia, and really just stretching our legs outside of New Zealand.
Is financial services a key market for you? I know you're ex-BNZ as well. Financial services are one of those core competencies, or are there other ones? I mean, for one thing out here, I can't help thinking, and plenty of people complain to me about it, Service New South Wales have built a great app, a lot going on, but they fall down in simple things like, hey, your car registration's about to expire. It's all digital now. You don't know. The next thing you know, the cops are pulling you up because they've scanned it. And this is not my story, it's someone else's, thankfully. But, it's like, all I need is for someone to tell me that I need to do something and I'll do it.
Yeah, look, you're telling my story for me, really. I guess our observation is that so many of these organizations have their data and have their processing in the cloud now, so they can be proactive. They can, detect that they need to tell you something. They can offer you a pathway to take a one-click action for something. Really, just it's too much effort to build the front-end experience to make that possible. So there's so many apps that really could deliver that kind of experience, and we're just really trying to make it a bit easier for them to do that. So banking is where we started. Banking has high frequency interactions with customers. Health insurance is the same. Grocery is the same for us. But really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We think the future of apps is proactive and personalized. Exactly your example. The app knows that you need to do something. It should come to you and say, "What do you want to do?" It's a bit like the self-driving car transition, where we're not hands off the steering wheel yet, but the car's doing a bit more of the work, and we're just steering and going, yes, go there, don't do that. And so we think that's the opportunity for us.
And on top of that opportunity, I'm wondering, Ben, how much does open banking and CDR more broadly here in Australia provide an opportunity for Atomic? Of course, you will need the institutions themselves to put in a little bit of effort, but in terms of then translating that into actions, it seems like Atomic is ideally placed on that front.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We see sort of a couple of dynamics with open banking. I mean, one is that it's taking a while to become a decent reality. The second is that it's spawning a lot of innovation in the fintech space, obviously, and so we think working with fintechs is exciting because they're actually grabbing at that data and trying to add value to it faster than the banks can. But ultimately, it's up for everyone's advantage. And so yeah, absolutely, moving to a point where not just my transactions with this organization or that organizations, but being able to aggregate and present proactive information across all my providers is exactly the sort of thing that Atomic is for.
Well, Ben, great to have you on the show today. I look forward to seeing you across the ditch. We've been talking to quite a few New Zealanders in the last few days. It seems like all the action is heading west. Thanks for your time today on the show.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.